Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Tuesday topic. We've had a video in from Steve.
Hi lads, Steve here. Hope you're both well. Both doing a fantastic job on the channel. Love Toffee TV. Been watching it since day one. Thing I love about it, to be honest with you, everyone's got their own opinion. You see a lot of fan channels these days and they all agree with each other just to keep everybody happy. Just really wanted to know what you boys thought. I think, just by the way, Saturday, really good performance. Every player on the pitch. I thought Gomez's second half was outstanding. I thought he was really complete midfield performance. And I saw a few West Ham fans on Twitter saying it was the best performance they've seen at their ground. Obviously, it doesn't take a lot when you've got Mark Noble in midfield. Just wanted to know what you boys really think now moving forward. Obviously, we've got 7 or 8 games left now until the end of the season. Still pushing for that 7th spot, for that Europa League spot. Just really want to know what you think, really, moving forward in relation to the playing squad for next season. Where should we be looking to strengthen? In my opinion, right back, 2 centre forwards. That should be the priority. I just think I love Seamus Coleman. Love him. Done everything he can for Everton. Just don't think his legs are there anymore. And I think as a right back these days, there's no such thing as a right back no more. It basically right backs are now right wingers, because you look at your Cities, you look at your Liverpools, their right backs are so high up the pitch, it's unbelievable. And I think obviously 2 strikers are needed. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the last 7 to 8 weeks has done really good. I think he's improved his game, his hold-up play. I just think he still lacks that predator instinct as a striker needs, really. I think we do need that top striker. I know it's hard to find, and I think Dom could be that eventually. But I think that is the striker's the priority this season, for next season. Sorry. I just really wanted to know your thoughts on any players that you thought about maybe bringing in, or what type of player we should be identifying in relation to age bracket, quick, target man. In my opinion, I'd love to see Olivier Giroud. I think Giroud, Calvert-Lewin and one other would be great. But yeah, keep up the good work, lads. Like I said, if you put my topic out there, great. If not, love to hear everyone else's opinions. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Steve. It's interesting this, talking about players we need, because
we don't need anyone now.
we're amazing. Well, that's the thing though, isn't it? It's almost like you do start to go, yeah, you know what? Like Steve's mentioned there about like a right back, and he's right. But like, you know, I seen someone tweeting during the Chelsea game, and it was Seamus Coleman's finished, retire lads, and all this kind of thing. And then you see him put a performance in like that, and I know he played well for Ireland as well. And it's like, you'll live forever, Seamus Coleman. You drunk the elixir, and that's it, isn't that's the problem with football and football fans. We're so reactive. Of course we are, but you know, I suppose that's where people like brands come in. You know, people behind the scenes who've got this, who don't react to situations, who know what's going on all over. Well, yeah, know what's going on, the whole thing. No emotion in terms of, I'm gonna have a word with you, mate.
Yeah.
I know what, I know it's stupid, and I always say this, but have you seen Moneyball?
Yeah,
I can't remember you've seen it.
All right, brilliant.
So knowing Moneyball, and I always use this because I just think it's a perfect sports film. I know some of it's, but you know when he walks into like he has to let people go, and he walks in and goes, "Listen, letting you go," and it's that like he's so brutal. He's so, but he's not, because he's like, what would you rather have? Like, would you rather be told we don't need you anymore, and we're selling you, and we're bringing someone else in, or would you rather like, oh yeah, blah blah blah? No, the professional sports people. If you walk into a room and go, we're getting a new finger or whatever, or you're not worth this much money, and that's what Brand strikes me as. He strikes me as someone who's just, the players are there, and he's there, and he just keeps, and he just, not saying it's his job to tell them, but he's just like, we don't need that player anymore, we need someone better, and thanks very much, you'll go to that club, you'll do great for them, and that's it. And that's what he brings, I think.
Well, that's what I was saying with the no emotion, is that he can watch it from afar, assess and go, Seamus Coleman's great at the moment, but this lad here I've got coming through, or this one we're trying to buy will be better. The thing with Seamus is, that must have been the first half of Chelsea he was treating that. The second half he was brilliant. He's come back. In fact, the only game we've lost since the break was the game he didn't play in, by the way, and John Joe had a nightmare, didn't he? So he's someone who's come back, and we spoke about it on the final word. Richarlison's in front of him now. Seamus looks 10 times better all of a sudden, because he's got someone he can trust and someone who works hard. But just because he's on a great run doesn't mean we can't be thinking ahead, and that's what brands will be doing. And Moneyball is like that. I mean, I watched MLS I watched Cincinnati on Saturday night, and Garza was playing, who played for Atlanta and was really good for them, and then I was watching DC and Orlando last night, and the amount of players that I'm like, has he moved to them? Didn't realise he was playing.
Because Bellhop has gone to?
Bellhop's gone to LA.
Someone else? No, he's gone to someone else.
Oh no, he's gone to, is it Cincinnati? It's someone like that. Them players in MLS, because of the way American sports is, they just move. And there's no almost like emotion behind it. It's just like he was there last year and here he is here now.
Just while we're on that, about brands, do you think that helps Marco Silva in terms of player relationships? I know we'll come back, Steve, don't worry. You know what we're like.
It's all part of it.
Do you think that, do you know, like in the old days, they'd have a manager and you'd have your assistant manager or your first team coach or whatever, and everyone were like, can't really be pally with the gaffer, but, you know, the assistant manager be the one you go and knock on the door and go, why isn't he playing me? And be like, you know, put an arm around them. Do you think Silva can get better relationships with players and doesn't have to be as distant with them, simply because, yes, he picks them and can drop them and stuff, but in terms of like buying and selling them, I'm not saying he doesn't have he doesn't make decisions, because he clearly is part of the process, but ultimately Brands is like that figure that you don't get close with, that he's the one who's cold and it's his job to be cold, whereas now maybe Silva can be a little bit more pally with some of these players, because it's, at the end of the day, if you get sold or you get bought, it's not on him, it's on somebody else.
I don't know, it's difficult to say, because it's difficult to understand how it all works. I think the thing with Silva is, and if you just listen to players at his other clubs, probably more than ours, because the players at our club are not really going to say anything about him until he leave or whatever, or they're going to say positive things, because that's what you would say, because you want to be in the team. Whereas when you listen to the likes of Troy Deeney, or you listen to Tom Cleverley at Watford, and I listen to Ryan Mason and Curtis Davis at Hull, and that, they said he was brilliant. Even if you weren't playing, they all had a good relationship with him because of the way he is. So I'm not sure whether he can turn around and go, listen, I don't want to sell you, but Marcel Brands has said we're going to sell you. Whether that helps or not, I'm not sure, to be honest. But I think what he does really well is, and it was interesting reading, and I know you'd sent one of the articles to me, the link with like more information about what goes on, things when he's saying like, I have a look at the sleeping patterns, and if someone's had a bad night's sleep, I have a word with them before training.
Well, we've seen this from, funny enough, we've seen this from Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Oh, Hasenhüttl.
When he was saying about young players, and he's cut Wi-Fi off at the hotel because they're all playing online.
I think he said, another manager said that.
Barcelona said about, what's his name? Dembele, didn't he? He was saying he was staying up all night and he wasn't getting entertainment, stuff like that.
Well, one of them said, a manager over the weekend has said as well, he said the biggest opponent isn't the opposition, or it's Fortnite. Because they're obsessed with football, because they're doing it, because they've got that much free time, they're all on it, doing it.
And also, you've been there, Bas, you know the script. You look at the clock and it's 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, but that's,
you look down, you look back up again.
3 hours later.
It's the next day, mate. We've all been there.
We have been there, but they've got a responsibility.
They've got a job.
So I suppose I was delighted to read them articles about Silva. It's something we've banged on about for a while that the club should have been doing. They should have done it with us as well, to be fair, because they should have, because then it's not all polished with national journalism, but it's good that it has been out there, and it's good to hear his methods, talking about sleep patterns, talking about what he goes into. And I suppose if you've got a manager that is quite straight with you, which I think Silva comes across as being quite straight, I think he probably tries to maintain a level with you, of course, I don't think he's Allardyce level where you cut off on if you weren't involved or whatever, or Koeman. You know, if you weren't in Koeman's, you were nowhere. I'm not sure he's like that, but
going back to what I was saying there, though, I don't know, because I don't know. But I imagine let's get a scenario, right? We've got a scenario this year, right, where we're talking about players bringing in. Going back to what obviously Steve did ask us. We're going back to get to the summer. Marcel Brands and it's not going to be the summer, of course not. Those meetings will have been taking place now and even before now. Of course they will. That's Brands' job. So Brands and Marco Silva sit down and have a conversation. And Marco Silva says, right, they'll go through all the data and everything and just general feel for players. And he goes, listen, we need another centre forward, which we do and we'll chat more about. We need another centre forward. And Marcel Brands will go, no, I agree, we need another centre forward. Right, so they know between them the style of play, so they know what they're looking for, or an alternative to what they're looking for in terms of plan B, C, D and all the rest of it. And so he says, yeah, right, we need one, we need two, right? So then Marcel Brands' job then, and this is not Marco Silva's job, by the way, then becomes, well, if two are coming in, two are going out. And then I think that's where that separation is good, because then Marco Silva's not part of the process of losing players. If he says, my top three at the moment are Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Shane Tosin, and then the next striker is Nias, really, isn't it? Because he's still at Everton. If you somehow we've only got three strikers. One of them's not on loan, and we've got others to fill in. Then he goes, well, Dom's me first and Cheng's me. So he goes, well, right, well, if you want him in, then I'm selling Nias, aren't I? And if you want two in, then I'm selling Shane Tosin. That's taking out the hands of the manager. That's what I'm saying about relationships. The manager's not selling players. He's bringing players in.
But he is in a way, because he's choosing priorities, isn't he?
He is. But what I'm saying in terms of relationships, he's never selling anyone. I didn't say I didn't want you. I didn't. I just said I need a new one. But then it's up to it'd be interesting.
It would be interesting.
I
think ultimately, even if he is involved in the process, right, he can hide a little bit behind Marcel Brands, because what he could say is, listen, at the moment, Dom's my first choice. Say it's Nias, Chenk's my second choice. I need another one as well, even with you, Umar. But wages means that we've got to lose someone. So at the moment, Marcel's recommending.
And that's what made me think of like the Moneyball thing, because obviously in baseball, or I don't know, maybe another sport, it was like they only had like 25, didn't he? And it was like, well, if I want him, he's got to go, because we've only got so many in plays we can have. You know, the trade. That's why they have those trade in that sport, and a lot of American sports, it's trades. Like going back to saying about MLS, and it's almost that idea is that's what we've got at Everton now. So if you are bringing someone in, they've got to go out. That's the way we look. That's clearly the way we look at it.
And that's a good way. And that is a good way. It's a good thing for the manager.
Well, it is, isn't it? Because you're not carrying. You've got a list, and as soon as you get to that as soon as you get to that cut-off line, you've got to go. That person's got to go, and that's if you think about it, it's weird that in sport, in football, in all practices, maybe you have a way of doing things that is the accepted way of doing things, but it doesn't mean it's the right way. No. It's just that someone decided that was the way to do it, and everyone's just gone, well, that's the way to do it, and you just keep on, and someone goes, why do we do it like this? So we've sat here last year, this year, whatever, and we're like, why are we carrying 10, 11, 12 players who are earning £7 million a year between them, or whatever it is, and none of them are playing football, which is their job for this football club? Suddenly, surely you go, yeah, that makes, because football teams for too long, or certainly not always, because they didn't always do this obviously, but in the last 10, maybe 15 years, this is a thing they've started doing, is just collecting players. And when people say, oh, all these footballers, they're not bothered if they don't play, well, why would you be, when actually the whole system allows you to earn ridiculous amounts of money, and don't actually have to do anything.
Without the pressure, isn't it?
So it's not actually about the running around. It's about that. You're right. The pressure of having to pull on a shirt, of having to be abused by fans, or just.
Well, I think the collection of players is a really important one, because years ago, you know, the 13, 14, 15 players, and that was it. And if you look down the squads, Liverpool, right? Liverpool could win the Premier League, the top of the, as we're recording this. But realistically, he only uses, because they don't get injuries, he only uses 15 or 16 players. If you ask Liverpool fans, they go, our squad's not really that deep, right? Whereas Man City have got a deeper squad money-wise. Tottenham don't use that many players, really. It's all about quality, isn't it? Quality of player. But for too long, people have had 25, 26, 27 players, because you go, oh, we're in the Europa League, we almost want a new 11. Well, your new 11 really should be made up of 6 of your 23s who were there anyway. You shouldn't have players, Sandro, you know, Morales, Schneiderlin, who aren't playing all the time, big wages, because it destroys you. And that's Everton tried something different under Ronald Koeman. They got a lot of money. They didn't really know what to do with it because they didn't have a structure. Yeah. They just, Walsh was made up because he had money. Koeman was made up because he wanted to spend money, because he thought that'd get him to where he needed to be in the quickest time possible, so that he might get the Barca job, because let's be honest, that's what he was trying to do. And it took us away from what we did. We'd run such a tight ship with Moyes, because we had to, and then Martinez followed that on, didn't he?
The irony of Koeman is that, because I was thinking then about collecting all these players and having too many players and having baggage and having players who are bad for the dressing room, is that Koeman did have a cull. You know, he had a call after the Watford game when we got beat 3-2, and he said, right, that's it. I know my match day 18 or whatever. I know the main 15, and everyone else is just going to be like kids or whatever. Come into that January, started to get rid of players cleverly, Deulofeu, these kind of players. And then literally tried to pull it back to the bare bones, which was right, and then started building up again without getting rid of players, because he, and now we're sort of facing the same thing. But I suppose it doesn't, you know, when you've won a couple of games and you can maybe start to see now, it's, you know what Everton are at the moment, they're a bit like knowing catchphrase. You know, when you get the final thing and you get that one, you go bing, and you get that corner square and you haven't got a clue what's going on. And then you get another one, it's the top square, and you're like, what's going on? And you just basically see Mr. Chip going, and you're like, what? And then when you get to, at the moment, I feel like we're just pulling down a few more squares, and we're starting to see now what the picture is behind.
You're starting to see.
No, I think most people.
Time ago.
Yeah, you say that. You're starting to see now the thing of what you're starting to understand, and of course you haven't got the final picture yet, and you still don't know whether, you know, when you press that buzzer and you give that answer, it's going to be right. But people are starting to see it a bit better, and that helps everyone, because if you go the match and you can't see what's going on, and we spoke about this on the final word, is that it's about, now I think we're all starting to see where all the pieces, because let's get it right, the manager is started to see where all the pieces go, and maybe that was the biggest problem he's had this season, is that he didn't know where all the... He knew what he wanted. He knew the picture. He just didn't know where all those pieces went.
I think, yeah, but also people are too quick to jump and give this spiel that, well, I don't know what we're trying to do. And I said it at the time, I said it weeks ago, is that for most of the teams in the Premier League, you wouldn't know what they're trying to do. And I include, take City and Liverpool out of it because they're the better, maybe Spurs. For everyone else this season, have they known what they were trying to do? United didn't have a clue. So Solskjaer come in.
I think
Arsenal fans will still tell you they're not sure what they're trying to do.
No, I think they know what they're trying to do. I don't
think the fans do.
No,
go and listen to. No, but you're
watching the wrong channels.
No, I'm not.
No, but
I'm saying to you is that it's what I've said all along with this manager. It's very, you come into a club and you have and Koeman had this, but he didn't really know what to do with it. He come in and went, I'm going to play pressure and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And he moved away from it because he didn't have the players, right? But he had Ron, which we still could have played that game and just left.
I know, but he was lazy.
I know. Yeah, but the other two could have.
No, I know, but he just decided he didn't have to do that.
Yeah. And then, it didn't work, and then Allardyce done what he did. This manager's coming with that idea of what he wants to do. He's bought some of the pieces with Marcel Brands. They've been our best players, the pieces he bought. And throw Pickford in there as well. He's been good. Michael Keane's had the resurgence and stuff like that. And I think what you're saying, I think to a certain extent you're right. I think he knew what he wanted to do, and I think he wasn't getting back off the players what he needed to do to prove to him. And because he's moved a couple of them around, all of a sudden they've gone, and results help, and confidence comes seeping back. And then all of a sudden players are taking chances and they're running into areas they weren't because they've got that little bit of thing. And everyone now is it seems like they're all on the same page. And these players have come to the fore. And you mentioned it on the final word. The team that we all thought in August and September isn't the team that we've got now in March, and that's really good because that shows you, or April now as it is, the managers learnt, some of the players have learnt, some of the players have had to stand up and be counted because they think, I mightn't be here. All of a sudden this fella is here to stay, it seems. We're winning games and I have to step up to the challenge, and Michael Keane's done that. Seamus has been dropped and come back and come on strong again. Richarlison started on the left, went through the middle. Now he looks very comfortable on the right with Seamus behind him. Bernard's fit and comes in on the left. And all of a sudden the pieces are sitting together. Garner's been marvellous, even since the PSG thing fell through. He's come back and been better. Gomez is getting that fitness now to command the games again. Siggy's he's in and out. He wasn't great Saturday, but he wasn't bad. So
I thought he was great Saturday.
No, but again, it's what you'd expect, and I'm expecting more from him. He links the play nicely, but does he? I don't know. I still think he's got more to give. But it's linking and it's working and everything's working. So you do get to Saturday night and go, there's not actually that much wrong here.
Yeah, but I think what's important is, I think we've both mentioned this, and it's about now going. See, that's the thing. You look at the first game of the season, and you've got the team.
Although we played well at Wolves, didn't we?
No, I know. But you've got Walcott on the right. You've got Cenk Tosun up front. You've got Richarlison on the left.
Jags in the back.
Jags in the back four. Mason Holgate comes on. Baines. Schneidlin. It's a Niash comes on. It's all over the and then we get our players in, and some of them settle, and then you feel like they've settled, and then you get the mad Christmas period, and then
and the manager didn't do it right,
and everything gets thrown out the window, and then it's almost like that. You're throwing darts at a dartboard. Then who's playing? Well, we'll give him a go to see if John Joe Kenny's worth giving him a go. Tom Davis, we'll give him a go.
But do you think he's right to do that? Because
I think
it's hard, isn't it? Because you're always looking for a solution.
I think the problem is that I think the big problem is that the Premier League's unforgiving. Everything is unforgiving about it. Like literally everything. There's always. I don't know if this goes on in other countries. I really don't. But if you're in a bit of a sticky spell, and then TV and radio are purposely putting the old manager on to basically wind it up and wind it up and wind it up. Is that can't help? And then we live in a 24-hour news, and it's not even news. It's not news anymore. We can't even say news. Misinformation. That is the key. We live in a place, and we're always talking about this, where we live like this. We might as well have this grafted onto us as a child now. And every 5 minutes we're looking and we're just seeing what's going on. Listen, I'm as guilty as anybody for it. And we're always like that, and we're always looking for stories. And I don't know, has the world become that boring that we go into a phone now rather than have you ever gone out and just left your phone in the house? It's wonderful. But we're always looking for something, and there's always information. And it's not even like, I'm not saying you get Allardyce coming on and you'll be like, oh, I'd have won that. And you get people, and you get some people going, whichever persuasion. So you get Keys in grey, like in Dubai. Even though it's over there, or Qatar, we still see it all. And listen, we use the clips all the time on our Twitter and stuff. And they're mates with Allardyce, so they're stoking. You know, that Mayside derby. You know, Anfield, they'd be like, as well as they've played, they've ended up losing it. Sam didn't lose there, and it's just a little prod. And then as it goes on, and as we all get frustrated, like we all do, there's just more and more and more of that, and it builds up. Of course it does. So there's no time to breathe. And then, but what we found was, when there was time to breathe for this manager, when he got that gap of a couple of weeks where there was no international football, there was no football, he allowed them all to go and have a few days away. He brought them back to Finch Farm, he didn't take them away, and he just knuckled down and started coaching and started asking what he wanted, telling them what he wanted. And what we've seen since then is no goals conceded from stupid set pieces, giving them away, no zonal issues. We look better defending and attacking set pieces. Players suddenly know what they need to do. Yeah. Players are fighting for positions. Players who thought that they were shoe-ins and not now shoe-ins. Not people like Walcott are not even getting off the bench regularly. Suddenly you got that little bit of breathing space, and players got breathing space, and people like Gomez. And I think what reflects that a little bit as well is someone like Dean, right? Dean's had a busy season. He's worked hard, of course, he has. Do you know what? On Saturday, right, he could have easily gone, yeah, still feeling that hamstring a little bit, you know. No, back into the side. Man of the match.
Wanted to play.
Man of the match for a lot of people. Wanted to play, wanted to fight. Gomez is another one. He's another one that he's like, you know, there might have been a lot of
he pulled out the Portugal. I didn't realise he was in the Portugal squad, but Portugal press said he was carrying an injury, so he pulled out.
There'd be a lot of games this season where, especially over Christmas, where he could have just gone, yeah, don't fancy this, it's a little bit cold. Never seen that from him. Okay, listen, he's been like the likes of the Southampton game, he was shite, and maybe that's where the manager should have just had a little look at him and gone, don't fancy you today, play someone else. But he didn't, and that's fine. So there is no breathing space at all, and I think we've seen that. And I think that's where the pressure is heaped on the manager, where the manager actually just went. And I think that's a problem for all managers. You know, we all get on top of managers. Because we're yet stuck in that bubble for 9 months, and it really is hard to just come out of that. Because you can't see it, can you? You can't see the wood for the trees.
No,
you can't.
But I did say the other week, when we were losing games, that we could quite easily just start winning games again, because that's what we've done. But you're right, you do everything. Listen, let's not lie. Because the other crowd are doing well, it intensifies back on us.
Of course it does.
And you start looking for every fault, because it seems like, I mean, I'm still amazed they haven't had a decent injury for any of the front. It's berserk, but there you go. But I think what the break did, it allowed them to reset and look at players with nothing coming up. Just look at them training with no game in mind. We're building towards Cardiff in 2 weeks, whatever. By the time he had days off, got everyone fit. Probably all the information he was given. We need to be doing this. We're not doing that. And actually, the improvement began against Man City for me. Even though we lost the game, there was an improvement. There was a battling and a desire not to get beaten. Okay, we ended up losing the game in injury.
We still conceded a goal from.
Well, we did, but it was bad defending. Players not taking responsibility where they have now. They have started taking responsibility and going, I'm going for this, I don't care, and going and winning. We seen it the other week with Mina against Chelsea, breaking lines and just going and heading the ball away. So it's like, well, yeah, that's what you do. You do it because you don't give people free and cheap attempts at your goal. You cut those things down. We still had the wobble at Newcastle, which was poor. What are we like when we're 2-0 up and we concede? Can we go again? That's what I don't want to see, because I'd rather we won every game to nil.
Don't concede.
No, but there's a question mark there still, because if we concede one, is that it, or do we fold like a pack of cards? That's the next challenge. But I mean, ideally we won't concede again this season. That'd be great. But as a result of the better results, you can see that players still have things to offer. So Seamus Coleman still has something to offer. He was very good at the weekend, very good against Chelsea in the second half, very good when Richarlison went in front of him against Liverpool, very good.
So what you do with someone like Seamus Coleman then? No, he's 30. Do you go and buy somebody who potentially, because the way I look at Seamus Coleman now is we've got to be looking, I've said this all season, you've got to be looking to replace him with somebody who it might take a season. And I said this about Leighton Baines in like 2012. You got to be replacing him with someone who can almost take that position off him as it goes forward. Not someone like, would you do that, or would you look at it and go, no, just go and buy a better right back if there's one out there? Or would you say, well, what if we go and buy a younger right back that we can almost like when we bought Leighton Baines or when we bought Seamus, someone you can bring into the club and you know he's going to take that role, but he isn't necessarily going to take it straight away. He's going to fight with them for it, because that's where I look at John Joe Kenny now. I look at John Joe Kenny and I just, at the moment, I don't see him taking that role off him. The manager might think otherwise, but I don't see him taking that role off him in the next couple of years. I just don't see it. But do you do that, or would you go and buy a 26-year-old right back who's ready to go in there right now and will create that competition?
Just for clarity, he didn't say it in 2012 because Baines was 25, so let's just get that right. But I know what you mean. As Baines was getting 28, 29, that was the thing. I'd want... The big thing for me is Mason Holgate. That's the big thing for me. Is he being considered as a right back? Right? I think he's done very, very well at West Brom. Apparently he was brilliant again the other night. Is he... See, I think Mason can play there. I really do. I think he's the abilities, height-wise, is good. I think he's technically very good. There's a little bit of a question mark about his delivery into the box, but then again, Seamus isn't brilliant at that all the time. So that's the key for me. I'm with you at the moment with John Joe. I'm a little bit like that with him. It might take another 2 years before he's ready. I don't know whether it's a loan. I don't know with John Joe, the reality. I imagine... See, if Everton could get, and I'm saying it, and if someone like Wan-Bissaka, I would go and buy him, right? And he probably would take Coleman's place. And then Seamus would have to battle to get that place back off him. Ideally, it'd be a younger player who would fight toe-to-toe with Coleman. Because then if Coleman's in, it's because he deserves to be. I think I said it on the final word. I want there to be no drop-off anywhere in our team. So I want everyone to think, I've got to play well because you're ready to take and you're good enough. Where I imagine Coleman thinks, well, if I play at my game, there's not a chance John Joe's out than me. Not a chance. Where I want Seamus to be thinking, I have to play at my peak to make sure I stay in this Everton side. And if you can do that, that's how you improve as a team. It's a tough one. It really is. And I think Holgate's the key to it. I think if Brands and Silva look at Holgate and go, he can take his place and he will push Seamus this next season, then fair enough. The reality is he's a 30-year-old right back who's had a serious injury. He's back, don't get me wrong. I believe all his stats tell you he's running faster than he was before. He's covering more ground than he was before. Apparently that's what the stats are showing. So that means if he's dropping off, it's in here because it's not physically a problem. But at 30, you're going only one way. So Everton have to act on that.
Newsflash. You're only ever going one way.
Well, of course, but as a footballer, you know, if you're 23, you can still get faster and stronger. But for him, he's at that age where we do have to be looking and going, our goal now is to phase you out the team. But phase you out the team because the lad who's underneath you is as good as you or better. I
think Holgate's an interesting one because if he came back to the club next season and really said, right, I'm prepared to be a right back. I'm prepared. I see that. That's interesting because for me, if he did that, and it becomes almost like a three-way fight, but you've got Mason but he also, Mason Holgate's there and can be that versatility cover to play right back and centre back, which is what a lot of the time why I suppose in the last couple of years why he's been on the bench is because he ticks two boxes, doesn't he? So, but if he says, right, I want to be a right back, which he hasn't always wanted to be, and he's got a taste for it now.
But he knows the role now, doesn't he?
Then that brings up an interesting thing. But then that's on the club. That's how much they'll look at it. I'm sure they're always reviewing the situations.
If you're Marcel Brands, right, and you're looking and forget Wan-Bissaka because he's going to end up at Spurs or Arsenal probably for 50 million quid, right, and Everton aren't going to want to. I probably haven't got the money to spend 50 million quid on him if they're going to spend it elsewhere. Because ideally, for me, a striker is far more important than the right back because we've got players who can play there, and Tom Davies, I think, can play there as well. So if you're Marcel Brands and you're looking and going, well, he's done really well at West Brom. He knows the role. He's done really well. They might still get promoted. They're in the playoffs and they're doing well. If we just keep him at right back and go, you're in a two-way or a three-way fight for that right back spot. There's 30 million quid I don't have to spend on this other lad who's 21 playing in Germany, who mightn't get in anyway.
Well, what about this? What about this then for a scenario? What if West Brom do get up, right?
And what want to keep him again?
And want to keep him for another season and go, you know what? This lad helped us get up. We don't have to pay any money.
I think they want to buy him, don't they? If they get up, they said.
I know, but
yeah.
That's up to Everton, isn't it? Yeah. That's up to Everton. But if Everton was
John Joe.
No, but if Everton said if he came up, I mean, Seamus played for Blackpool, got Blackpool up, and then came to us. But if he said if Everton said, well, you get up, you can keep him for another year, but you better play him at right back. I almost think that's a perfect scenario. Okay, he's not at the club,
but then what do we do next year? Just go with Kenny and Coleman again? See, that to me, I'd worry about that because although Seamus is flying now, like you said before, I'm not sure John Joe is at that.
But what if? All right, but I know I just feel it's if let's say Seamus has a great season, right, next season playing right back,
course,
and Holgate maybe John Joe dips in now and again and plays games when he needs to. If Mason gets a full season and he's playing well in the Premier League, it's almost that. I think that could just be a decent little trade-off.
Is it not better to have him here under Silver's?
But if he's not playing, then it's all right to. Listen, Mason Holgate.
Then he could come back in the summer and be flying.
Of course,
and then he's in the team.
That's the scenario. But then you just think, well, what if Seamus has just got that 1 year, long term? Could that be the answer to Everton's right back situation? They're the kind of decisions they've got to make.
That to me is the key. Holgate holds the key as to whether we buy a right back. I think I really do. I don't think I'm with you. I don't think John Joe's ready just yet. I don't. And he might take a year on loan to get the regular games at a tough level to go. This is what I need to up my game because I know that stepping into Everton's first team isn't really, I'm in and I'm out, and he might take a loan, whether that's a promoted team in the Premier League who's looking for someone or whether it's a championship team or whatever. But he just needs that to just really focus on. But that's again, like I said, Holgate is key for me. I mean, there's one. Steve's talking about what we need to strengthen with. The big one's Kurt Zouma, isn't it? Because I think me and you both agree that Yerry Mina could still be a massive player for us, but we haven't seen anything of him, and so it's hard to judge. But if Chelsea have got this ban and it's upheld,
they're not going to sell him.
They're not going to sell him, are they? So therefore, because they can't, and it'd be stupid too. So therefore, centre backs. Then you start looking and going, like, who are we going to go and get? So that's dead interesting one for me.
I think it's weird. I mean, if he's not at Chelsea now, then I've never had a worry about him leaving Chelsea. I just thought, they're not going to keep him. If he's not there now, then they're not going to keep him. He was on loan last year. Stoke. I suppose you never know with Chelsea. Just such a weird club, aren't they? See, they've got. I suppose the fact that Kale's leaving is probably the big one, isn't it? He leaves at the end of the season. Unless they were to say to him, like, we're going to give you another year. If they think him being there for another year would be better than Kurt Zouma, that would be the only thing. But then they'll probably say, well, Kurt Zouma's had another year in the Premier League and he's done all right for Everton, and we'll bring him back.
We'll play him,
and that could be the thing, isn't it? But
it's who we go and get as an option. But there's players out there, isn't there? Because Zouma was, don't forget, Zouma was the last 2 day thing, wasn't he? So they might look. Marcel Brands might have someone in France, Germany, or Italy or something, and go, well, we can get this kid who's, who looks potential, and you've got Keane, and you've got Mina, and we've got this kid, and Mason can play there. Jags will probably won't be given the new contract. They've said they're stalling on it, which I think Baines might get one because we do need cover, and I don't know whether. I know Anthony Robinson's doing all right for Wigan, but again, it's a huge step up. Whereas
he's at a club at the wrong end of the table.
And if you give Baines a year as cover for Luca Dean, then you still, even though Baines can't get up and down as much, he's still got a lovely left foot, and if you've got someone like Bernard in front of you who works hard, it bridges that problem straight away, doesn't it? So I can see Bainesy getting kept. I can't see Jags, to be honest with you. So it depends, you know, then. So we will be a centre-back light, which again, Holgate does cover 2 options. Is it a chance for Morgan Feeney to then be dragged into that pack?
Well, I think that's an interesting thing out of all of it, isn't it? Is that we need to start saying, and it needs to become part of the conversation, and I don't think it is quite yet, but it's almost that thing of like, well, he played for the under-23s, he was amazing, no matter what, he goes into the squad. And I think it's that needs to be.
He has to play pre-season games with the first team, Feeney. He has to.
Yeah.
You know, Pennington played a couple of games last year, and I know he's
back,
he's injured, isn't he, and out for the rest of the season. I think he'll be
no, he's not
24.
He's not good enough.
He's not going to be staying at Everton. I think Feeney needs to be on them trips now. I think into Africa, playing there, playing at all the other games that we're going to be playing.
He's got to go full Toto.
Got it, yeah, full. But he needs to be one of them. And then I suppose if we can't get Kurt Zuma, and then you look and go, well, all right, well, we've got Yerry Mina, we've got Michael Keane, we've got Mason Holgate, and we've got Morgan Feeney. So we've got two more experienced centre backs. One's played in the World, well, both have played. No, one's played in the World Cup, the other one's in international. And we've got these 2 kids as backup. They might look at that and go, well, that's what we want as a team. That's as a club. We've got 2 young lads, and we've got 2. It was still young, by the way.
Yeah.
But you know, so Everton might do that if they can't get Zuma. Then again, they may go and get another one. But I think it's really. I think the problem is sometimes don't block the pathway of like Morgan Feeney. So if you're looking and going, we can buy another one, or we can let this lad through. And again, that's where Mason's pivotal then, because. Are we looking at Mason as a right back? Are we looking at him as centre back?
Like I said, that's got to be the end goal, hasn't it? I think that's another thing that's pivotal about Marcel Brands, is that he's come from that PSV environment and Dutch environment where it's all about getting the next set of players through and not necessarily worrying about players getting. I mean, the perfect scenario is almost like when a Jags and a Baines goes, you'd have 2 of your under-23s coming into the squad. That's supposed to be how it's supposed to work, and that's the way he'll be looking at it, because that's the way he looks at it from a Dutch point of view. You know, being a PSV, you know, their players gets like 23. I mean, we said it ages ago when we you know, when Depay left, and they're giving this big fanfare of like he was leaving, he was going to Man United. It was prestigious for PSV that one of their youth players was graduating to go to Man United. And they do that all the time.
Ajax did a classing when he was coming to us, didn't he? They
take, you know, they have a real pride in that. But then on that though, the next one comes through. So Klassen went, and then Dingo came through, didn't he? The young lad who's going to Barcelona. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, well, if you're here past 23. You're blocking the next one from coming through, the next one that we have to sell if you're one of those clubs. You know, so you're just like, you're actually costing us money by not leaving, almost in a way. It's weird, but that's the way they think about things, because they've got such a good conveyor belt, and that's the perfect scenario. It hasn't been the perfect scenario, far from it. And it, you know, but that's obviously what.
But he's trying to change that, isn't he? And I suppose if you look at that now and you move into midfield and you've got Gomez, I think we all think Gomez will stay. I think we do. I think we all agree he'll stay. Zuma, like you said, you can't see him leaving because of the ban and stuff. So in that midfield, you're looking, and I mean, Garner's in January. I was like that with Garner, not bothered if he goes. I really don't care. Now I'm looking and going, he's 30, but what he does, it's difficult to find someone who can do what he does to that level, unless you get Kanté from Chelsea, which you know. But that's what you're looking at. So there's a question mark with him now. But then again, they've identified a couple in France apparently who are 21 and who can do it. So if that's the case, sound. And then you're looking at wide areas. So the wide areas, I mean, Walcott, he's established. I still think there's a player in there, but I just don't know whether he's going to suit us. And therefore, if he will be one who I would be listening to offers for, no problem. You know, even if it's.
But he's another one, isn't he? 30. And it's like
big money.
It's
30.
like, and the next one comes in, 21.
She could go to Southampton and for 8 to 9 million quid, and people go, we paid, so it doesn't matter. Get him off the wage bill. He could go to Southampton. He'll play. They'll love him, and that's he's back where he started. Good money. Once probably happy to live back down south. Not that he's caused Everton any issues, because he hasn't. He's a great pro. But if we're not going to play him, then these are the players we need out the door. The ones who aren't going to be regulars. I don't mind if you're Ghana and you're in every week and you're on 130 grand a week and you perform, and I've got no issue with that. I've got an issue if you're on 130 grand or 100 grand a week and you're not playing for Everton. That's the problem I've got, and we've got too many of that. So when you look through the squad, centre forwards, you mentioned Tosun before. As much as I like Jenk, I'd be listening to any offers for him, because he's 18 months in, or he will be at the end of the season. He's not established himself in the team. This should have been the season. I thought he'd score 15 goals. I really did. I thought we'd give him chances. He lived on scraps last year and he got 5 and 12. This year, with more flair around him, he hasn't been able to do it.
But the team doesn't suit him.
The team doesn't suit the way he plays. The kid will score goals if you give him opportunities, but it's all the other stuff that he can't do that we need him to do. It's not almost like we can just say to him, wait in the box and it's all right because we'll get you 4 chances and you'll get 1. The way we play needs more from our centre forwards, which is why Dom's forced his way in, because he can do a bit more than what Tosun can do. So Tosun and Niasse, I'd be listening. I know Steve saying, who would you like to? Them two, I wouldn't bother me to see those two out the door. And then we do need 2 centre forwards. Then if them 2 go, and
I think that's what's an interesting situation, though, isn't it? Because if we are looking for 2, then, and listen, Henry Onyekuru.
But I was gonna come in to him in a minute.
He's supposed, him and Vlasic are supposed to be coming back into the fold. But then you look at it, well, you can look at that and go, for the centre forwards, well, if you've got 2, one's young, Henry Onyekuru, who could probably play wide left as well and suit the system, probably play wide right as well and suit the system. But then could you take a chance on a bit more experience? Would you want to take a chance on more experience? I mean, I would love, and I still would love Giroud. I think he's got so much to offer. And I know people will go, well, he doesn't really suit the way we play. But I think the difference with Giroud is that he's so much more of an intelligent player than someone like Tosun, that he can get himself into places before, Tosun even realises what's going on.
Well, you knock the ball into Giroud and you can keep it for a start. His little flicks. I mean, he come on against us the other week and caused it wasn't amazing, but he could have scored at the end. Caused problems. His intelligent flicks and runs. Okay, he's not quick, and that might be a thing.
He's the best team in the world, best international team in the world, centre forward.
Yeah, there you
put it that way.
And if you put deliveries into the box, Luca Dean, you find him, aren't you? The teammates for France, they know each other.
The French are no slouches, are they? With Griezmann
and Mbappe. So you surround him with. You can get away with not being lightning if your movement's clever and you can pull yourself off defenders and stuff. And he's experienced at doing it in the Premier League. So he would, and I think someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin would learn incredible amounts off him.
Hair tips.
Where to run. I don't think Dom's got the hair to be able to pull it off the way Giroud does. But where to run, when to take it, jumping and stuff. And you're right, Onyekuru, I was going to come on to him anyway. He's someone who fits the profile of, I can do 3 jobs. Now, sometimes you don't want that because you want someone to do one job and be good at it, but if he can play anywhere across the front 3, it almost makes Everton a different proposition. Look at the best 2 teams in the Premier League at the moment. Both have fluid front 3s, don't they? City, especially, you don't know who's playing for them. They just play anyone, anywhere, don't they? We look at Liverpool's front 3 are brilliant. It's so that's how it's going. If you look through Spurs, they got Kane. It's always rigid. It's Kane, Dele Alli running off. United, they've been better when Rom hasn't played, actually, when it's been Rashford at times. But Rom's the real threat goal-wise, of course he is. But I think for Everton, if it was Onyekuru, and according to Andy Hunter, who's very well connected, him and Vlasic are coming back into the fray, and if they do, then you would lose Niasse. So if it was Onyekuru for Niasse, upgrade. you would think.
Yeah.
I mean, don't know, because Nias has scored in the Premier League, on Yakuru hasn't, but this is a fella that's played in the Champions League, playing for his country, scored double figures 2 seasons on the run from wide areas. So he could be a real threat.
But the players that Everton already own,
we own.
That's the point. The players that Everton already own. It's not like saying, you know, oh, we need to go and buy this player. The players that are already on the books.
What that means then is, if Tosin does go out the door, you do get someone like a Giroud, or you go and get another runner. I know they liked Augustin at Leipzig, and they like the kid from France, the young lad, Lau or something, is it? The young, quick, direct striker. So again, that fits into that. So all of a sudden, your profile goes from being Nias, who you don't really fancy, Tosin, who isn't up to speed, to having Onyekuru and a young, quick striker, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, or Olivier Giroud and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And I'm saying Giroud because he's been linked with us. Your profile as centre forward changes, so it means you can mix that team up. Richarlison can also go through the middle if you need him to. Onyekuru can go and play wide right, all that. So that to me is exciting, because it means with the dynamics of the team changes. So it's about pace then. Who doesn't want to see fast Everton teams on the break? We seen at the weekend when we broke, cut West Ham to ribbons on the break, the same as we did with Chelsea second half. So then that leaves your midfield with Vlasic, which you just mentioned, and then that's an interesting one, because his direct competitor is Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Yeah. And Gylfi Sigurdsson is
30,
same again, and you're saying to a player, listen, we sent you out on loan for a reason, to get experience, to score goals, to take responsibility, play in the Champions League. Now we feel you've got the tools.
And you've always said this is where you saw Vlasic playing anyway.
Well, the point being, what I can never understand is when people say things, you know, when these players are on loan, that's why they're on loan in those clubs. I've got no problem with loan deals, as long as the player's got a future, it's a value for us. And surely that is his position, because he's not a wide player. He's not a wide player in our team. And they established early on that, you know, if you're gonna change things around at a club, or the principles, you've got to have key components that work within your structure. And Gylfi Sigurdsson works within the structure of what this manager wants, but it's not going to be forever. But you can't say to someone, you wouldn't have a centre back, would you? And say, you wouldn't come into a club and go, right, we're going to have a dead young centre back in, and we'll just let him get on with it, because it doesn't work like that. No. You've got to change the identity of a team slowly, and you know it's going to take time because of the way they've been playing. But it's not helped if you've got inconsistent players. You need levels of consistency. And whether people like Gylfi Sigurdsson or not, his goal return is good. The amount of chances he makes is good, and he's a level-headed, good pro who's got the intelligence to go to and say, this is the way we want to play. And you know that because he plays games. He plays all our games.
Gylfi is boss.
Yeah.
It's just all round. Sometimes there'll be dips in games, and I think what the problem is with Gylfi, for the manager in particular, is if he has a drop off, who plays in that role? There isn't a like for like in there. No. You have to try Bernard in there, who I think would be great in there, but is doing really well where he is. The only other one I see is either a Tom Davies, who's different, but he'll press from the front and do that job well, but he's not Gylfi in terms of vision and opening things up. The only other one's Lookman, and he's untried in there. And if it's a little bit of a battle, can Lookman match that up? If he's up against the Cora, is he just going to get shrugged off the ball in there? I think with Vlasic, what we established early on was he's very strong on the ball, because he's little, but he's a strong lad. Okay, he's not lightning quick, but isn't really used in that role at all at Everton, where he's gone to Kiev. No, he's at Moscow.
CSKA. And
in that role, he scored a winner against Real Madrid. Yeah. He scored quite 7 or 8 goals from there. He links everything together. They call him the new Modric over there. They think he's going to be the big thing for Croatia.
He's in the Croatia squad now, isn't he?
So and he's ours, like you've just said.
Yeah.
So we could have, with Onyekuru, Nikola Vlasic and Mason Holgate, 3 young lads, all under the age of 22, all being out on loan playing football, could all be upgrades in this squad with players that are ours already, without us having to go and spend 30 million on Onyekuru, or 25 million on an Onyekuru, 20 million on a Vlasic, 25 million on Holgate. to bring them into this squad. Your squad may jump up if those three can replicate what they're doing this season. So that's where it's interesting, because then you look and go, well, actually, if Saturday's the level we can get to with the current players we've got, and you're throwing Tom Davis in that mix, you're keeping him in there, Lookman, you're keeping him in there.
Yeah.
Baines and Jags were on the bench, so say Jags goes out, you've still got Baines with the experience and can play that role. It becomes interesting to look at that team, and Tosin may go out and you might get another striker in.
It's a pathway though, isn't it?
But all of a sudden, you're looking at the team and going, actually, what do we need? So we need another striker. If Onyekuru can get a work pin, which it looks like he will now, we need one striker. I'd like two, but he might use him, so it might be one. We're talking about the right back, and then you go, well, Mason Holgate could be that right back. Yes, we might need another centre midfielder. I would, because I think James McCarthy's gone. He's not even on the bench anymore. I think he's out in the summer. So we need someone in there. I think Schneiderlin may go,
I think he'll still go.
Even though he's done a good job when he's come in. So all of a sudden, the actual team, when you're thinking off the top of your head, we need a right back, we need all of a sudden it's interesting when you put everything together.
Yeah, I think we know where the key components
are. What for you? What are the...
See what? Well, no, hang on. Let's just right.
Because this was Steve's question.
let's just say, you know, you get to the summer and the manager says, they say to the manager, right, you've got 100 million. What are you going to do? Are you going to say, well, if I can go out and get a striker, my number one priority is a striker, he'll score me 20 goals, but that's going to take up a big chunk.
50 million, probably.
It could be more.
Yeah.
But if you say, well, that's a big chunk of that 100 million, are you going to do that?
I would, because what that does is it gives you a foothold in a lot of games, and then it frees up Richarlison and Bernard, because people are worried about this kid who's through the middle for you. It gives Gylfi an option. Can he pick a pass? Do you know what I mean? But then you've also got, like we've just said, the young lads on the bench. You're on your Kurus, Velasic is coming. I think what it does is it takes a big chunk of it up. I think you're looking at your spine always, aren't you? I think for Everton in the summer, I think Gomez is going to cost you probably 30 million. Say, it'd be great if we could get it less. So there's 30 million quid straight off the bat. We need a centre foot. I think Zuma's out the thing. I really do. So we need a centre fireworks 70. 30, 40, 50 million for a centre forward. So straight away, just those two, you're on 60, 70 million off the top. So then it's, where does that other 30 million come? Is it the right back? Is it a centre midfield player who's going to dictate and pop it around for you? And then what you do then is you then trade off then, don't you? So you go, well, we could get...
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
You get Morales off the... Morales last week, I done it on the Daily. He's talking about asking Everton to reduce his fee because we want 7 million. I'd give him away for 2, because it gets 90 grand off the bill. Get rid of him. That's the wage bill cut. Get him off. Williams is gone. He's off. I know Stoke are paying the majority of Williams, but we're still paying as well.
But he's gone. Martin's gone.
Kuka Martin, well, hopefully, he's still playing every week for finals. So you'd expect them to buy. So all of a sudden, if you start cutting these away and letting them go, your belts, your purse strings loosening that wage thing means you can spend different types of money. So it does prioritise then. Is it 2 strikers or is it 1? Is it a centre back, a centre midfielder and a striker? Is it your core?
That's it, isn't it? There's so many players that you look at. Mo Besic.
Forgot about Mo.
No, but there's loads of... We've got all these players that we just need to get binned.
What for you, looking at this side now, and it's always easier after a win, and given the manner in which we performed as well against the second half Chelsea and Saturday, but you look at that team, what do you think we need to get closer, not saying breaking, because you don't know what happens, but to get closer to, say, Arsenal, who are in 6th at the moment before?
We need a centre forward. We need a centre forward who can score 20 goals and another midfield, because Richarlison scored 13, hasn't he? I think we need another midfielder that's going to get 10, possibly.
Okay,
I think we do. I think you need another
but then
one.
That's the profile. That's weird, isn't it? Because then Gylfi's got 12. If Garner,
no, what I mean, Gomez, between Gomez and Garner at the moment, they need to get 10 between them.
They do.
And that, so I suppose you're asking more of the players you've already got. But I'll look at it, and I think they'll be.
Say Everton both. I think he said they want 6. Andy Hunter, and so did Dominic King. He wants another 6.
Well, he might want another 6, but you don't know what those 6 are going to be.
No. But I'm saying to you right now, today, if you had the purse there, we got the money and went bed, go and improve us for next season, what would you go out and do?
Centre forward is straight away, because a centre forward just improves your team. You can score goals. If if Everton go into half time on Saturday and they're not, and they're 3-0 up instead of 2-0 up, that changes everything. Then you can bring Lookman to the pitch. Then you can
be in play.
You like that. If you've got a centre forward that people fear, they'll always sit off you and they'll always let you play. It gets you up the pitch, and I think that's what we're missing. That's what we've been missing since Rom. You have to work doubly as hard for every chance. We've seen that, and then to take that chance, you've got to work 3 times as hard. We've seen that, and that's a big problem with this. If you've got a centre forward that causes panic in the opposition's box, all kinds happens. We've seen that. Seen that a couple of times from opposition, including our own. It just creates more opportunities.
So what would be your key areas then? So you buy a striker, then what would you do?
I'd buy a striker, and I still think we need a dominant centre back, another dominant centre back. I really do. And then the right back situation, I think, is quite fluid, because it's not. You don't go. Coleman's not finished. You can't say what Mason's going to be, and you don't know what they think about John Joe. So it's really interesting.
I think it's going to be dead interesting this summer.
What I do think is though is that those.
So you'd go to spine. You'd go centre back, centre midfield,
and obviously we don't know what the situation's going to be with Garner, are they?
No.
That's another problem. But what I would say is that, what we said when we started this, is that Brands is the man who makes decisions without putting emotion into it. And he might just he might know right now, he might be sitting there going, I know Garner's gone. I know Zuma's going. I know Gomez is staying. So he's like, right,
this is what we want.
I'm a football man. Garner's leaving. He's not sitting there going, you little fucking knobhead. He's like, it's football. This is what happens. My job is to trade like I'm trading a share. You don't get emotionally involved with a share or something when you're trading it for.
What about sheep?
What? I don't know. Well, maybe it's the same thing, isn't it? If you're a farmer and you've got livestock, you don't get emotionally attached to the pigs, do you? You just go,
sure, someday.
That's got a job. Well, maybe. That's got a job. I've got to
make the best.
And that's what his job's to do. His job is not to be emotionally attached. He'll want to know what's going on right now. He's not going, please stay, please stay. He's like, are you staying or not? No, I'm not. Sound. Right? If the PSG give us the offer we want, you will leave. Our PSG, he'll be talking to the agents. PSG will give you the offer you want. What do you want? We want 30 for you, 35 for you. Okay. And he'll go, right, as long as we get what we want for you and we can get who we want to go. Because you've got to know that, haven't you? You can't sit there with your head in the sand going, Garner might go, he might stay, but we hope he stays.
Well, I think that's what Everton have been guilty of.
Exactly. So if you know he's going, then you can go, right, well, no, that 21-year-old who plays for Leon or whatever, we want him. What do you want, Leon? Well, we want X amount for him. All right, well, we'll give you X amount for him. Leon are not in the business of keeping players either. Every club works like that. It's not, we got to keep on to these players, we're emotionally attached.
Well, I mean, the only thing with the Ghana, it looks like they're getting Ander Herrera from.
Well, then it might be off then, mightn't he? Then it might be off.
Leon apparently won him, don't they, and someone else wants him. So if Leon won him, then you say, right, okay, you want Ghana, well, we want Ndembele. So you've got to know where you are. That's the simple fact, and it's the same with everything. The manager might walk in and go to Silva. Go to Brands, and it might have been, it might say, I don't need that grade A centre forward now because I've got so much faith in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Or who's to say he wasn't sitting there going,
need a right winger. Need a right winger. We've got to get a right winger. You know, we need one. Richarlison's put. Don't worry about that now. And Baran's will be like, sound. Or I'll tell you what. I'll go and get you a backup one. Do you want a backup one? Yeah, we'll have a backup one. We don't need that anymore. That's all that's got to... As long as they're having those conversations and they know exactly...
Well, last week he done an interview and he said, we're clear on what we want.
Well,
we both agree. We've sorted it. We know what we're getting or who we want. Yeah. And we're just... But it's not the right
At the end of the season, right, if he turns around and he goes, right, Lookman can go now. If he's had a year of Lookman and he knows how good he is, how good he can be, and what his attitude is to trying to get to that place, and he says, I've had him for a year. I didn't want to sell him last summer because I'd never seen him before, but I knew he was this potential that we couldn't just get rid of. But I've had him for a year now, and I don't think having him for a year I can do anything with him because his mind and his heart and everything is not here.
Somewhere else, yeah.
He goes,
let him go, yeah.
And you might get that with 2 or 3. You might get that with Garnett. Garnett might have been a case of, we're not selling you, but in the summer you can get that 3 move. It's still available. And Garner's gone, you know what? All right, that's been the line all the way through.
Yeah,
you've never said anything else. You said I'm not going. All right, I tried to play the game, but you're not going. And Garner's gone, sound. Roll my sleeves up. I'll work hard and I'll say.
I'll make sure they.
But next year he might be like, fuck off. I'm not playing like that because that's what happened to Rom. They promised Rom he could leave. If he you know, and Ron said, right, I'll stay and I'll put it in, and he did, well, to a degree.
Probably
scored goals,
didn't he?
And when he left, everyone was like, why have you let him go? And it was like, well, they told him last summer, and then you started seeing Ron saying things like, we should be buying this player and buying that player, and he'd obviously been told, there's got to be that trust, hasn't there, with players, so players know where they are. And I think that's where Brands comes in. He's the non-emotional person in the room. He's just like, you're a commodity, and I have to because footballers don't last forever. They have a shelf life of 10 years unless at their top, and you know that they're going to. I mean, when we were in Dortmund and the fans were like, don't have any songs for players. Why? Because no matter what, they will always leave. Always, the manager will always leave. Yeah. There is always a bigger club. And you buy players from there, they get to here, and if the boss, they'll always go there.
They sing about the club.
They sing about the club, and that's the thing. We as fans will always find it very hard to take emotion out of it. But to be honest, I don't even put emotion in it most of the times. I just go, look at hell, he's boss. I want him. But even if you have boss players, if you want to be better, there'll come a point where you'll go, I know you love him, but it's time.
But that's the thing with Coleman, isn't it? Yeah. It's that we all love him. He done an interview the other week that he'd done, and his interview was amazing, and everything he says is amazing. And you're like, you're fucking. But it's almost sometimes better. But it's almost sometimes better if they're not playing well. Oh yeah.
But look at Bainesy.
But what I'm saying, I love him.
Exactly.
I absolutely love Leighton Baines.
I mean, you're sitting here looking like John Travolta, your sleeves, like, and your 10 packs there, the ciggies. No, but it's like that, isn't it? Because
I love Baines.
But you soon forget about them when they're not playing.
Dean's amazing, and I love Luca Dean. So, love Seamus Coleman, but if someone comes in who's better than him, I love Everton, ultimately. You know, and that's the thing, is that I don't mind. If you're upgrading all the time, you get over it. I used to love Ross Barkley.
Oh, no, mate, I'm not being funny, like, but I've forgotten half of the plays we've had in the last 3 years. There's been that much of it. Until you reminded me before, I didn't even know James McCarthy still played for us, and you didn't even know Mo Bessett still played for us. So, do you know what I mean? It's like...
yeah, when he played in that semi at Goodison against Man City, he was amazing. And I think Mo's got something, but is he good enough at this level? He's not good enough. He's not as good as Garner, is he? So... you know, we liked Bessett with Garner coming, and it was like, oh my God, that's what we're missing.
But who's to say that at the end of the season, Everton don't go, right, James McCarthy's going and we're bringing Mo in, because you know what? When he was here, he wasn't good enough, but we've been watching him in the Championship, and he's getting to that maturity level now. Where I'm not saying he has, by the way, because I haven't seen a peep of him. Who the fuck watches Middlesbrough? No, but the point being, who's to say they haven't been sitting there going, he now is ready. And it's the same with Vlasic. Everyone's like, he'll go, blah, blah, blah. But we're all the time, Everton, being like, do you know this loan deal is for us? It's not for him. It's for us. And I think that's what people forget when they go, send them on loan. You know, no, you send them on loan when it benefits Everton. This is why I go, we're sending kids to Wigan. You're never going to make it if you send kids to Wigan, as far as I'm concerned. You're not. Unless their next loan deal is someone a little bit...
Well, that's the aim, isn't it? The aim is you get them out.
And that goes back to last week's
look at like Anthony Evans, who's playing for Blackpool now all the time, because he was at the 23 level. He was scoring regularly. He was never good enough to play for Everton at the moment. He's gone to Blackpool. He's doing quite well at Blackpool. He's playing on their left wing. So I understand why you might want to say to, although he's injured, but why he said to Benny Beningame, go there and play. You're not going to be in our team. Go and play.
And yet this time last year though, he was in our first team.
I know, but
that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. It's like he's just gone from.
Yeah, but his thing was he got injured.
No, I know. But that's what I'm saying. I don't mind players going on loan, but I want them going on loan to like fucking hell. If you can, we've got 2 players on loan who are playing in the Champions League.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you're at that level where you're then getting considered for Everton's squad in the Premier League, which is an unforgiving league, that's why then that next loan deal needs to be. This is what we said. You're right.
There you go.
Tuesday topic last week.
Yeah. There you go. Go and watch that. It's like a companion piece.
Oh,
like that was like
just all fits together.
That was like Godfather Part 1. This is like Godfather Part 2. Practically the same.
I mean,
quality.
I'd have gone for probably Airplane 1 and Airplane 2. Really, no, me and you are heading it up, but equally brilliant.
Don't call me Shirley. You ever seen a grown man naked? That's such a weird line now when you think about it, isn't it? That's such a weird... Think about it in context at the time. That is a really weird line. I don't think you can get away with that in Hollywood. I mean, some people are still getting away with that in Hollywood, but that's a completely separate story, probably for AOB. Anyway, let's move on. Thanks for watching. Big thanks to Steve for sending his video in. Please always feel free to send them in. I'm sure other people sent them in and we'll try and do something with them.
And come and sit on the couch like Jill did this week.
Remember, Steve, what shape's your telly, mate? What shape's your telly? What shape's your telly, Steve? It's that shape, isn't it? It's not that shape. Remember. Because what you've actually done is when you've had your phone like that, you've blocked the microphone as well. So it's a bit...
Come on, Steve, you're a top man. You send us the videos.
Send them good videos, and I like you've almost got... No one Steve reminds me of? German Baz.
He does a
He's
little
got German Baz going for... I keep on saying, grow the hair, but he won't. He will not get the hair. Because I know, but we could
Steve, have... You know, Steve's like a morph of me and you.
We could have...
The beard and the hair,
we could have like a little... we could have little area over there, little mirror, get all our products.
If I put products on...
I think you're severely lacking the products.
If I put products on my hair, right, my hair goes dark. You know when I get...
You look like Travolta.
You know when I get out... You know when I get out the shower? Right? And I'm like that. Now when I get out the shower and my hair's wet, my hair's dark. And my missus goes, dark, how dark your hair is. So really I should put gel on my hair.
No, not gel. Don't gel, it's not the 80s.
I don't know what you put on it.
I put like a little bit of textured wax.
So if I put textured wax on my hair, it'd be black.
Do we?
This bit...
You wouldn't... I'm not being funny. If you seen my product collection, you would be just like... See, because with my hair, I need one product for the side. And
is this real?
Right. No, honestly, it's like if I'm going to do my hair properly, it's got to be a 3-step process. So obviously, it's more, you wash it, right?
Yeah.
Then you dry it, but you do it with a proper hair dryer, right? You get it into plate. What else would you dry? See, this is the problem. That's what towel hair dry looks like. This is what proper salon style hair looks like, right? So then you get, I've got this called uppercut. And I have like this different...
I'll give you the fucking uppercut in a minute.
No, you need to listen. See, that's a different... So I have one which is a really strong hold, right? Monster hold is called. And that does the side, right? So you get the side down.
So why wouldn't you have monster hold on your top?
Because it doesn't allow the bounce.
Oh.
Doesn't allow the bounce, right? But the side, you want the side down, don't you?
Yeah.
Like Guildford.
You should have had monster thing for Saturday for the brickwire because your barn was everywhere.
But that's because I had the helmet on it.
Yeah. There you go.
So then I get a lesser one and I get that in, and then I'd get me brush, my own personal brush, and then I'd blow that into place, right? And then if it was a little bit sticking up to me back because of me thing at the back, it sticks up, so I might have to put a little bit of a stronger on there to get that down. And then to finish it off, because it all looks good, you get hairspray, and then you literally then
stop it.
Then what?
You put
that's what you need to do. Oh my god, towel head there.
Stop it.
Right, so then you have to get the hairspray, and then that cements it into place, and then you've got that all day great fresh feeling, so your hair just stays exactly where. How do you think I get my hair staying where it is all day? You need the spray to. You've done all that work, right? You could go out in the first gust of wind, could literally just undo everything. So you need that spray to just hold it into place. And there you go.
You didn't think you were getting salon tips on here.
There you go.
It's incredible. I am mind blown. How long have we been doing this for? 7 years with radio.
You've got to put hard work into it.
Literally.
You've got to put hard work into the hair.
Just put a mic drop on me. You've just done an information bomb that I never knew.
There you go. I've got more, probably like 4 or 5 different products that need to go on my hair. It's got to be done.
This coming from a Morgan Freeman lookalike when he was 20.
Exactly. Well, that's. Wish I'd discovered it. Anyway, there you go. I hope this is. I mean, it's been two Tuesday topics in one.
Yeah.
There you go. If you know what, I could probably start a new weekly show of hair issues. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.